everyone, my name is Crystal and today I'm going to be telling a Jataka tale, which is a folklore tale from India. And my storytelling is based off of a tale called the Rumour and adapted from a book of the same name, which was retold and illustrated by Jan Thornhill. So I hope you like it. Long, long ago in India, in a sun-dappled grove of palm and mango trees, there lived a young hare. Now this hare was no ordinary hare. She was a worrywart. She worried about food, she worried about rain, she even worried about her eyes being green. This hare worried about everything. One day she settled into her favorite part of the grove, under her favorite mango tree, and decided to take a nap. As she napped, the hare did her best worrying. She curled up into a ball and began to wonder, what will happen if the world breaks up? What will happen to me? Just as she had this thought, a mango from a nearby tree fell down onto a palm leaf and made a crash sound. Now the hare thought this was an explosion. She cried, "The world really is breaking up!" and ran as fast as she could without bothering to check and see what the sound really was. As she ran through the palm and mango grove, a nearby hare called out to her and asked, "Why are you running?" Without stopping, the hare called back and said, "The world is breaking up! Run for your life!" "Oh no!" cried the second hare and took flight alongside her. The two hares ran and ran as fast as they could until there were 1,000 hares who had all heard the rumor and joined them in the race through the palm and mango grove. The 1,000 hares ran as fast as they could until they got to the thicket, home of the wild boars. As they ran through the thicket, one of the boars called out to them and asked, "Why are you running?" One of the hares called back without stopping and said, "The world is breaking up. Run for your life." The boar thought, "Oh no, if 1,000 hares are running, maybe I should run too," and took flight alongside them. As the boar and the 1,000 hares ran through the thicket, the rumor spread until there were 1,000 boars and 1,000 hares racing through the thicket together. They ran as fast as they could until they got to the marshland, home of the majestic deer. As the 1,000 boars and 1,000 hares ran through the marshland, one of the deer called out to them and asked, "Why are you running?" One of the boars replied, "The world is breaking up. Run for your life." "Oh no!" cried the other deer and took flight alongside them. They ran and ran until the rumor had spread, and 1,000 deer ran with 1,000 boars and 1,000 hares, splish-splashing through the marshland together, until they got to the forest, home of the hungry tigers. As the 1,000 deer and 1,000 boars and 1,000 hares ran through the forest, one of the tigers called out and asked, "Why are you running?" One of the deer responded, "The world is breaking up. Run for your life." The tiger thought, if there are 1,000 deer and 1,000 boars and 1,000 hares all running for their life, I should too, and took flight alongside them. They kept running through the forest until the rumor spread, and 1,000 tigers and 1,000 deer and 1,000 boars and 1,000 hares were all running through the forest together. They ran and ran until they got to the brushland, home of the rhinoceros. As they were running, one of the rhinos asked them, "Hey, why are you running?" One of the tigers yelled out without stopping, "The world is breaking up. Run for your life." One of the rhinos thought, if there are 1,000 tigers and 1,000 deer and 1,000 boars and 1,000 hares all running through, I should run too, and jumped alongside them. They kept running until the rumor had spread, and there were 1,000 rhinos and 1,000 tigers and 1,000 deer and 1,000 boars and 1,000 hares, all racing through the brushland together. They ran and ran as fast as they could until they got to the open plain, where a young lion was resting, relaxing, enjoying the sun. The lion was young, but he was very disturbed by all of this commotion. It had interrupted his midday nap. As they ran past him, the lion called out and asked, "Why are you running?" All the animals called out, "The world is breaking up! Run for your life!" Now, this lion might have been young, and he might have been tired, but he was also very wise. He looked as far as he could beyond the animals and saw no fire, no smoke, no explosion. So he began to wonder, if all of these animals keep running like this, somebody's going to get hurt. So the lion did what he knew best and let out a loud roar. Even though all of the animals were terrified at the thought of the world breaking up, the lion's roar also really scared them. So they dug their hooves and paws and claws as deep as they could into the open plain and screeched to a stop. They turned to the lion. "Why aren't you running?" they asked. "The world is breaking up. Run for your life." The lion asked them, "Who saw the world breaking up?" Suddenly the rhino stepped forward and said, "The tigers know all about it." The tigers, they turned towards the deer and they said, "The deer know all about it." Then the deer turned towards the boars and they said, "The boars know all about it." The boars turned to the hares and they said, "No, the hares know all about it." The hares pointed towards the young worrywart hare and said, "It was her. She knows all about the world breaking up." The lion calmly turned towards the young worrywart hare and asked her, "And how do you know the world is breaking up?" As scared as she was, the young hare quivered forward and answered, I was taking a nap, and I heard a sound, and it sounded like an explosion, so I ran as fast as I could through the palm and mango grove." "And what did the world breaking up really look like?" the lion asked. I don't know. I was so scared that I just ran for my life," the young hare responded. "Hold on, animals," the lion said, scooped up the young hare, threw her onto his back, and ran as fast as he could, through the open plain, back through the brushland, in through the forest, splish-splashing through the marshland, through the thick thicket, and back into the palm and mango grove, where the young hare pointed out her favorite spot under her favorite mango tree, where she was taking a nap. "Show me where you were napping," the lion commanded the hare. As she pointed to the spot over next to her, the lion looked, scanned around the area, until he saw the freshly fallen mango resting on a crumpled palm leaf. "Aha," said the lion, "you must have heard this mango fall, not the world breaking up." The young hare was terribly embarrassed. She felt so silly to make such a mistake. The lion scooped up the hare and ran back through the palm and mango grove, through the thicket, splish-splashing through the marshland, in through the forest, through the brushland until they got to the open plain, where the 1,000 tigers and the 1,000 rhinos and the 1,000 deers and the 1,000 hares and the 1,000 boars were all anxiously waiting to hear what had caused the world to break up. "Aren't you all silly?" said the lion. "None of you bothered to figure out if the world really was breaking up or not. You all ran as fast as you could over the sound of a mango falling onto a palm leaf." All the animals did feel very silly indeed. So the young lion took pity on them and said, "Don't feel bad. Just make sure that you don't listen to rumors. And now, off with you all so I can enjoy my nap." The lion stretched himself out onto the open plain, and all the other animals went back. The rhinos went back to the brushland. The tigers went back to the forest. The deer went back to the marshland. The boars went back to the thicket. And the hares, including the youngest hare, the worrywart hare, went back to her palm and mango grove. As she settled into her spot under her favorite mango tree in her favorite part of the grove, the hare was really tired. She decided to take a nap. All that worrying and running and sitting on the lion's back had made her so tired. She was so tired that she didn't even bother to worry. She just fell asleep. The end.